Jean and Dan were married for 67 years before her passing. She sadly passed away in November 2024 and is survived by her husband and two children. On November 26, 2024, friends of the family announced in a Facebook post that Dan Rather's wife, Jean Goebel, had passed away aged 89 following a battle with cancer. The post read, "Today is the saddest of days for Dan and the extended Rather family." Jean Rather, Dan's wife, passed away at their home in Austin, Texas, early this morning. It added that Jean had been on hospice care for some time, but the news still comes as a shock for those of us who knew and loved her. The statement continued, "Please keep the Rathers in your thoughts. Jean lived a full life as an incredible wife, mother, friend, and artist, and a true Texan." Jean was Dan's supportive wife of 67 years. The 92-year-old iconic anchor told People in June 2023 that Jean was absolutely committed to supporting him as he navigated his career, which frequently really put a strain on family life. He said, "The first year I was with CBS News, I was home 41 days out of the year. 41 days out of the year. Very hard to hold a marriage and a family together then." Dan went on to praise the fighting heart of his wife before adding, "Whatever it takes, we're going to make it work." While her husband spent most of his life as a journalist, Jean spent years as an artist. Before finding her passion for art, she did a number of jobs, including holding down a secretarial position where she met her husband. Dan opened up about first meeting Jean during a 2020 interview with Closer Weekly, calling it love at first sight. He said, "I was working at KTRH Radio in Houston, and she came to work in a secretarial position. In my case, it was love at first sight. Not only was she so intelligent, she was smoking hot, and it took me a while to convince her to marry me. I don't think there's any secret about it." Dan and Jean have two children, a daughter named Robin and a son called Danjack. The former CBS anchor revealed how his marriage has lasted so long, crediting his supportive wife and wonderful kids. He said, "I don't think there's any secret about it. You have to work at it, and having two wonderful children has helped. Mostly thanks to Jane, they have grown into very good adults," he said. "When I was covering the civil rights movement, there was a year when I was only home for 31 days, and I was in Vietnam for the better part of 1965-66. But I never take it for granted. I'm still working at it. Because if for any reason Jean left me, I wouldn't be worth an ****. In June 2023, he told People, and maybe the saving grace was that, when I was home, I tried to hit the off switch. I tried to make every hour count with my children, Robin, my eldest, and Dan, my youngest. They grew up with it, and again, all credit to Jean, to whom I've been married for 66 years now." Dan shared with Closer Weekly that Robin is a sustainability expert and an environmental activist. Her son, Andy, did public service work in Nepal, according to the legendary newscaster. Danjack is a world-class human who worked as an assistant district attorney in Manhattan for over 30 years.